Well, so here I am driving the Audi Q7. Now this is the new edge in the car. So what is all new about it, you'll say? Well, the first thing that is all new about it, of course, is the looks of the outside. Some things have been modified on this updated version. The big change, of course, up ahead is the new grille. You get a new grille up ahead, which gets vertical slats instead of, no slats in the earlier version. It's a more prominent grille from earlier. So that's something which you will immediately notice. The second thing you'll notice from the back is that the lights now are connected with the chrome bar at the back. So that's also something which is new on the car, and that's something which a lot of buyers will truly appreciate and like. What you'll also like about the car is the fact that it is now only in petrol. A lot of buyers say, why only petrol, why not diesel? Because the older version was really famous for its diesel engine. But the fact is that these new Audi engines are more fuel efficient than the older petrol engines. And this, of course, is a 3-liter petrol engine, which makes 340 bhp and about 500 newton meters of torque. All that power is transferred to the wheels via these flappy pedal, and of course with the 8-speed automatic gearbox that this car has to offer. So those are things which a lot of buyers will appreciate. What you'll also appreciate is the ride comfort on this car. It's exemplary in terms of the ride comfort. It really feels like you're riding on a cloud rather than riding on the road, because it just soaks in the bumps really well. In fact, it can really shame a few luxury sedans for sheer ride comfort. It really is that good. It's really phenomenal, to say the least. And what's also good about it is the fact that the cabin isolation is absolutely brilliant. It's first rate in terms of cabin isolation. If you are someone who just enjoys to be sitting in a very quiet and silent cabin, and he just wants to be away from everything else that's happening on the outside, then you'll really enjoy the experience inside this car. And while you enjoy it, well, simply because it cocoons you from the world outside. Once you shut this door, then whatever's happening on the outside remains on the outside, what is happening on the inside remains on the inside, and you just feel like you're away from everything. So that's something great. On the highway also, this car rides with a very solid authority. It feels very assuring, very good, and just has a very mature and nice ride quality about itself. Now you can't really call it an agile car because it's a big and bulky SUV, and the Q7 never really was an agile car. But that said, you still can't really term it a disappointing car to drive. It's not a disappointing car to drive, because in terms of outright handling, it's quite decent, and it is at par with its other rivals. It's not in the same league maybe as sharp, maybe as its main rival, the BMW, but that said, Audi's erring on the side of comfort with this car rather than on the side of handling and agility. So in that sense, as I said, the comfort level in this car truly is exemplary. Now the performance also is exemplary, because this car picks up speeds very rapidly, and because the cabin is so well isolated, it masks its speed very well. So what you have to do is be careful while you're driving this car. You've just got to be careful with your right leg. You don't have to flex it too much, because before you know it, you might be doing speeds which are illegal on most highways. So you've got to be careful about that. And what you've also got to be careful about is the fact that this car's overall, ride is absolutely brilliant. So you've got to be a little slow sometimes, because as I said, you might feel like you're doing about 80 or 70, and you might actually be doing 100 and 110 kph. So these are things which you really need to keep in mind when you're on the highway. Other than that, I think it's an exceptional car. The visibility is very good. Quietness levels are very good. This engine is really creamy. The flappy pedals work really well. They're a very fast responding gearbox, and overall, just as a package, it's really hard to find fault with the Audi Q7. Pricing is also out, which makes it look like a decent value, because Audi's sales hot and overall after sales network is quite good. And being a 7-seater option also means that you have flexibility with the cabin of this car. Woodmo are the online expert when it comes to spare parts, and the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog, and the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices. Now, talking about the interiors very quickly, if you've seen the interiors of this car, you will realize that everything has a nice touch and feel to it. You get digital cockpit all across, of course, because this is Audi. They started this digital trend with interiors, and you get two big screens over here. One, of course, is for the AC The other one is mainly for the infotainment system and other things inside this car. And the best part about this car is the stereo system on offer. It's a Bang & Olufsen system that this car has to offer, and I have to say that it is the highlight package of this car, because the sound system, the stereo quality is absolutely first rate. No two ways about it. It offers you a very good sound system, and apart from that, seat comfort is exemplary. All the switches, all the knobs just feel special. And of course, you also get Audi's dynamic drive select, which means that you can change the overall characteristic of this car at the press of a button. And these are things which a lot of buyers do appreciate, and these are things which a lot of buyers do like, because these small things make a big difference in the long run, in terms of the overall feel-good factor, luxury factor, the posh factor. Now we'll stop this car, jump in the back seat as well, show you a little bit of the interiors. You'll really like the interiors, because it's a classy design. It's a very subtle, classy, but luxurious design. It's not a design which shouts in your face. Every material, every nook and cranny of this car shouts extreme quality, and overall it's just a package that you can be proud of. Of course, as I said, the digital cockpit looks very cool, and you can also change the look and the feel of this cockpit by simply pressing a button. Well, so I'm sure that you've enjoyed that little visual of the front end of the cabin. You've enjoyed watching all the details, the drive select, the twin screens, and the Quattro badging. Everything looks very premium. At the back, I have good news for you, and that good news is that even at the back, it's a nice place to be. The height for reference is 5'10", and the drive position has been set for my height and driving position. So if your chauffeur is also 5'10" or maybe 5'11", then there's plenty of place at the back. It's a nice seat. Seat comfort is good. Backrest angle is quite decent. You can always adjust the backrest angle by simply clicking this button over here and moving it at the back or at the front. That's something that you can do in case there are passengers at the back. And now the seat comfort, as I said, is good because you sit at a nice 90-degree angle, and you also get your own AC vents and your own climate control zone. Touchscreen system over here to keep you entertained, and of course you can always remove the blind and see what's happening on the outside, because it's a nice and large window. You get a good view of everything that's happening. Overall, no compromise from Audi in terms of the space, the comfort, and the overall luxury factor inside the Q7. Now let's quickly jump in the back seat, the last row, and show you how good that really is as a 7-seater. Well, so now here I'm in the last row of the Q7's cabin. Now, as you can see, this seat has been moved to its backmost position, and there's very little in terms of the knee room over here. My height is 5'10". So if you're about 5'5" or maybe 5'6", you should be decent in these seats. You'll be okay for short trips, maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours you'll be okay. But yes, if you have kids at home, they'll be fine. Anyone who's over 5'5" will not really feel very happy in these seats for long distance journeys. For shorter journeys though, it's quite okay. And of course, if you move these seats all the way forward, or you move them in their middle position, then it'll be quite okay, because then you'll get decent space. Still though, I'll say that anyone who's 5'5" or 5'6" will want to be here for only 2 hours and not more than that. Anyways, now let's quickly show you the boot, and after that we'll give you a quick summary report of how this car really is. Well, so as you can see, the boot area of this car is nice and very generally massive. It's over 800 litres with the last row down, and if you drop all the seats down, the second row down also, it's over 2000 litres, which is impressive. Now the reason why I've dropped that seat down on the left is just to show you that all these seats in the middle row can be moved around single seats. Yes, the 3 seats over there, they can be moved around in isolation. It's not a bench, so you can easily move it. And of course, if you want to move these seats back up, then you can press this button and use it as a 7-seater. And even when you use it as a 7-seater, it's a very good car, because in terms of space at the back, you can see there's loads of space in terms of the luggage carrying capacity. That's something a lot of buyers who always travel with their family will appreciate. Loading sill is also flat, so there's no problem whatsoever. And talking about power, you also get powered tailgate, because it's a luxury SUV. You shouldn't be using your arms too much. Anyways, impressive boot of the car. Now let me give you the verdict of the car outside, because I've already spoken about the driving bits. What is the Audi Q7 like, and should you consider buying it if you're lucky enough to have this kind of cash lying around? Well, I think that this car offers you very premium interiors, a very good ride, luxurious cabin, the best in terms of technology and features. And really, if you're in the market for a luxury sedan, but you want something higher than a luxury sedan, you don't want the low ground clearance or that low kind of feeling that you sit inside a luxury sedan, then this is a perfect alternative for you. It offers you the same kind of feel, same kind of features, and the driving experience also is quite good. Overall, I'll give the Audi Q7 90 out of 100. It really is a very good well-rounded car. And of course, if you want to feel like a celebrity also, it's the choice of a lot of celebrities, so you get a feeling of how it is to be sitting inside and feeling like $1 million. Anyways, if you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe to this channel, write something in the comments below, and don't forget before you go to give us a like. It's bye for now, and thanks so much for watching.